I'm sitting at the kitchen table, the one we picked out at IKEA 10 years ago when we thought matching furniture meant we'd built something permanent. The coffee in my mug has gone cold, its surface reflecting the dim light from the window. The house is quiet except for the faint hum of the fridge and the occasional creak of the floorboards upstairs where Sarah's probably scrolling her phone, pretending I don't exist. Last night, she hit me with it. Right in the gut, no warning. We were in bed, lights off, and I reached for her, not out of passion, but just to feel something human, something to bridge the chasm between us. She pushed me away, not hard, but like I was a nuisance, an interruption. "I'd rather sleep than pretend I'm interested in you," she said, her voice flat, like she was reading off a script she'd rehearsed 100 times. I lay there, staring at the ceiling, feeling the weight of her words settle into my bones. Then I said it, calm as you please. "I'd rather get divorced than keep propping up this marriage." She didn't respond, just rolled over, her back a wall between us. That moment was the crack in the dam, the point where the pressure we'd been ignoring for years finally broke through. If I'd known what she'd pull next, I'd have started packing right then and there, but part of me still hoped I was wrong about how far we'd fallen. I'm not here to play the saint or the victim. I'm Jack, 42, a project manager at a mid-sized construction firm in suburban Ohio. I've got a decent life, steady job, a house with a mortgage we can, barely, manage, a truck that runs most days. I'm not chasing applause or trying to win anyone over. All I want is respect. Not love, not some Hollywood romance with roses and grand gestures. Just respect. And Sarah? She's been chipping away at that for years, little by little, like she's testing how much I'll take before I snap. Her words, her glances, her silences, they're all part of the slow grind, and I'm tired of it. It wasn't always like this. We met at a friend's barbecue 12 years ago, back when we were both 30 and full of plans. Sarah was sharp, funny, the kind of woman who could hold a room with a story about spilling coffee on her boss's desk. I liked that she didn't need me to prop her up. She was a force, confident, independent. We got married 2 years later, bought this house, talked about kids, a dog, maybe a cabin by a lake someday. But somewhere along the line, she decided I was the enemy. Not in a loud way. No screaming matches or thrown plates. Sarah's smarter than that. She's a high school counselor, knows how to twist words, how to make you feel small without raising her voice. It's death by 1,000 cuts, and I'm done bleeding. It started a month ago at Mike and Lisa's place, our neighbors down the street. They're good people. Mike's a mechanic, always tinkering with some half-built project in his garage. Lisa's a nurse, talks a mile a minute, always with a story about a patient or a coworker. They invited us for dinner, a casual thing, burgers and beers on their patio. I figured it'd be a chance to break the ice that's been forming between me and Sarah. She'd been distant for weeks, short answers, no eye contact, like I was a roommate she was stuck with. I thought a night out, some laughs, might loosen things up, remind us of the people we used to be. We're sitting outside under string lights, classic rock playing low through a Bluetooth speaker. Mike's flipping burgers at the grill, the smell of charcoal mixing with the summer air. Lisa's passing around a bowl of chips, her laughter cutting through the chatter. There's another couple there, Tom and Jen, friends from Lisa's hospital. Tom's a quiet guy, works in IT, keeps to himself unless you ask about his vintage record collection. Jen's louder, loves to stir the pot with her stories about hospital politics or her latest dating app disaster before she met Tom. Sarah's on her second glass of wine, her cheeks flushed, her smile a little too tight. I'm nursing a beer, trying to keep the vibe light, asking Mike about his latest garage project, a custom toolbox he's been welding together. Lisa turns to us, her eyes bright. "So, you two got any big weekend plans?" "Summer's almost over, gotta make it count." I start to answer, something about fixing the deck, maybe taking Sarah out for a drive to the lake, when Sarah cuts me off. "Jack's always got a project," she says, her tone sharp, like she's poking fun, but there's an edge to it. "Never finishes half of them, but he's got plans." She laughs, but it's not warm. It's the kind of laugh that makes you feel like the punchline, and I feel the table's eyes shift to me. I set my beer down, slow, deliberate. "Funny, I seem to recall finishing the garage shelving you wanted last month." My voice is even, but I'm looking right at her, not blinking. "Took me a weekend, but it's up, holding your boxes like you asked." She shrugs, takes a sip of wine, her eyes flicking away. Sure, after I nagged you for weeks. You're welcome, by the way. Mike chuckles, trying to defuse it. Hey, my projects take years. You should see my half-built kayak. It's basically a lawn ornament now. Lisa jumps in, steering the conversation to her hospital drama. Something about a doctor who keeps stealing her pens. But I'm watching Sarah. She's smiling at Jen, like nothing happened. But I feel the jab, sharp and familiar. It's not the first time she's done this, tossing out a barb in front of people, making me look like the guy who can't get it together. I've let it slide before, laughed it off, but tonight it lands different. Sarah, if you've got a list of what I'm doing wrong, maybe share it later. I say, loud enough for the table to hear. No need to air it out here. She freezes, her glass halfway to her mouth. Jen raises an eyebrow, her lips twitching like she's holding back a comment. Tom stares at his plate, poking at a burger. Mike clears his throat, mutters something about more burgers. Sarah recovers fast, gives a tight smile. Oh, Jack, don't be so sensitive. It was a joke. Not sensitive, I say, leaning back in my chair, picking up my beer. Just calling it like I see it. The rest of the night, she's quieter, but I can feel her simmering, her eyes darting to me when she thinks I'm not looking. When we get home, she doesn't say a word, just goes upstairs and slams the bedroom door. I sleep on the couch, the hum of the fridge my only company. That's when I knew it wasn't just a bad night. It was a pattern, one I'd been ignoring for too long. If I'd seen how much worse it'd get, I'd have started rewriting the rules right then. A week later, I'm in the kitchen, going over our monthly budget. I handle most of the finances, bills, mortgage, car payments, because Sarah says she hates number stuff. She's got her own account for her spending, but we split the big stuff, or at least we're supposed to. I'm at the table with my laptop, spreadsheets open, trying to figure out why we're short this month. I'm not a math genius, but I'm thorough, and the numbers aren't adding up. Sarah's been buying stuff, new clothes, a fancy coffee maker we don't need, a subscription box for skincare she hasn't even opened. She hasn't mentioned any of it, and I'm not mad, just trying to make sense of it before we dip into savings. She walks in, grabs a water from the fridge, doesn't look at me. She's in her work clothes, blouse, slacks, her hair pulled back like she's ready to counsel a room full of teenagers. You done playing accountant? She says, leaning against the counter, her voice dripping with that mix of boredom and disdain she's perfected. I don't look up from the screen, trying to keep us in the black. You mind telling me about the $300 at Nordstrom? I keep my tone neutral, like I'm asking about the weather. She rolls her eyes, sets the bottle down hard enough to make the counter rattle. You're really going to nickel and dime me? It's my money. Your money, sure, I say, turning the laptop so she can see the spreadsheet. But when it dips into our joint account, it's our problem. We're short for the electric bill. Sarah, care to explain? She crosses her arms, smirks like I'm a kid who doesn't get it. Maybe if you didn't spend so much on your truck, we wouldn't be having this conversation. My truck, the one I've had for 8 years, paid off, barely costs a dime except for gas and oil changes. She's reaching, trying to flip it on me, and I'm not biting. Sarah, the truck's not the issue. You want new clothes, fine. Just don't pull from the joint account without a heads up. We've got a system for a reason. I keep my voice steady, but I'm done with her deflections. She laughs, sharp and bitter, stepping closer to the table. Oh, Jack, always so practical. Maybe I needed something nice to feel good, since you're not exactly inspiring. That one stings, but I don't let it show. I close the laptop, stand up, meet her eyes. If you need clothes to feel good, that's on you. But don't expect me to cover it quietly while you act like I'm the problem. I grab my keys from the counter, my jaw tight. I'm moving the joint account to a new one. You want to spend? Use your own. We'll split the bills 50-50 from now on. Her face changes, the smirk gone, her eyes narrowing. You're serious? Dead serious. I walk out to my truck, leave her standing there in the kitchen. That night, I set up a new account, transfer my half of the funds, and send her an email with the new plan. Bills split down the middle, no more shared pot for her to dip into. She doesn't bring it up again, but I can tell she's pissed. The air in the house gets colder, her silence is sharper. Good. I'm not here to play her games anymore. It's our 10th anniversary, a week after the budget fight. I'd almost forgotten about it, buried under work and the tension at home. but Lisa mentioned it when I ran into her at the grocery store. You and Sarah doing anything special? She asked, her voice hopeful, like she's rooting for us. I mumbled something about maybe dinner, but the truth is, I don't know if Sarah even cares. Still, I decide to try. Maybe it's stupid, but part of me wants to see if there's anything left to salvage. I book a table at an Italian place we used to love, back when we'd share a plate of carbonara and laugh about nothing. I buy a small bouquet of daisies, her favorite, or at least they used to be. When I get home, I find her in the living room, curled up on the couch with a book, her phone glowing on the armrest. I clear my throat, hold out the flowers. Happy anniversary, I say, keeping my voice light. I made a reservation at Giovanni's. 7 o'clock, if you're up for it. She looks up, her eyes flicking to the flowers, then to me. For a second, I think I see something soften, but then her mouth twists into that familiar smirk. Flowers and dinner? What's this, your big redemption arc? She sets the book down, stands up, and brushes past me to the kitchen. I'm not hungry, Jack. And I'm not in the mood to play happy couple for a night. I set the flowers on the counter, my chest tight. It's our anniversary, Sarah. I thought maybe we could talk, figure out what's going on with us. She laughs, not cruel but tired. Like I'm a puzzle she's given up solving. What's going on? You're here, I'm here, and we're both miserable. That's what's going on. She opens the fridge, pulls out a yogurt, doesn't look at me. You want to fix this? Start by figuring out why you're so boring. I stand there, the flowers looking pathetic under the kitchen light. Boring, I repeat, my voice low. That's what you've got? I'm out here trying to keep this house running, keep us afloat, and you're calling me boring. She shrugs, peeling the foil off the yogurt. You used to be fun, Jack. You used to care about more than spreadsheets and deck repairs. Now you're just here. She gestures vaguely, like I'm a piece of furniture she's tired of dusting. I take a step closer, my hands clenching. And you? You're so busy tearing me down, you forgot how to be a partner. You want fun? Go find it. I'm done begging for your approval. I grab my jacket, leave the flowers where they are, and walk out. I cancel the reservation from the truck. Drive around for an hour, the radio off, just me and the hum of the engine. When I get back, the flowers are in the trash. She's upstairs, door closed. I don't knock. 2 weeks later, there's a company dinner at a steakhouse downtown. My firm's celebrating a big contract, a new office complex we've been bidding on for months. Spouses are invited, and I'm not thrilled about bringing Sarah, but I figure it's a chance to show her I'm not the loser she's been painting me as. My boss, Greg, is there, a loud guy, loves to talk sports and deals, always clapping you on the back like your old friends. His wife, Karen, is friendly but nosy, always asking about our marriage like she's writing a book. A few colleagues are there too, including Dave, a younger guy who's always got a joke ready, even if it's not always funny. We're at a long table, plates of ribeye and mashed potatoes going around, the clink of glasses and laughter filling the room. I'm talking to Greg about the new project, going over the timeline for the East Wing, when Sarah leans over, her voice loud enough to carry. Jack's probably told you he's the star of this deal, right? Always taking credit. The table goes quiet, forks pausing midair. Greg raises an eyebrow, chuckles awkwardly. Jack's solid, Sarah. He's been pulling his weight, trust me. I set my fork down, look at her, my pulse ticking up. Funny, I don't recall saying I'm the star. You want to clarify what you mean? She smiles, but it's cold, her eyes glinting like she's enjoying the moment. Just saying, you love to talk yourself up. It's cute. Dave snorts, tries to cover it with a cough, reaching for his water. Karen looks at her plate, her lips pursed. I'm not letting this slide, not in front of my boss, my team. Sarah, if you've got a problem with how I do my job, maybe say it at home. Or are you just trying to get a laugh? Her smile falters, but she recovers fast, twirling her wine glass. Relax, Jack. It's a joke. You used to have a sense of humor. Not a good one. I say, my voice steady, cutting through the tension. I turn back to Greg, pick up the conversation like nothing happened. So, about the timeline for the East Wing. Think we can shave a week off if we get the permits early? She doesn't say much after that, but I can feel her staring, her anger a low hum across the table. When we get to the car, she lays into me, her voice sharp in the dark. You embarrassed me in there. You can't take a joke. I start the engine, keep my eyes on the road. A joke's supposed to be funny, Sarah. You want to take shots? Do it where I don't have to clean up your mess. She goes quiet, her arms crossed, staring out the window. I'm already thinking ahead. The next day, I tell Greg I'm skipping the next company event. Family stuff? I say, keeping it vague. He nods, doesn't push. I'm not giving her another stage to perform on. A few days after the work event, I'm in the garage, sorting through boxes. We've got years of junk piled up. Christmas decorations, old camping gear, stuff we swore we'd use, but never did. I'm looking for a wrench I misplaced when I find an old photo album, one we put together in our first year of marriage. I sit on a crate, flip it open, and there we are. Sarah laughing at the beach, her hair tangled from the wind. Me holding a fish I caught on a camping trip, grinning like an idiot. Both of us at our wedding, her dress glowing in the sunlight, my tie already crooked. I'm lost in it for a minute, the memories hitting like a wave. We were happy once, weren't we? I try to pinpoint when it changed, when her smiles turned sharp, when my patience started to fray. I don't hear her come in until she's standing in the doorway, arms crossed, her face unreadable. "What's that?" she asks, nodding at the album. I hold it up, not sure why I feel defensive. "Old photos. Found it in a box." She steps closer, looks over my shoulder at a picture of us at a county fair, eating cotton candy, her head on my shoulder. For a second, her face softens, and I think maybe she's feeling it too, the weight of what we've lost. Then she steps back, her voice cool. "You're not getting sentimental, are you? That was a long time ago." I close the album, set it on the crate. "Yeah, it was. Doesn't mean it wasn't real." She laughs, "But it's hollow." "Real? Jack, we were kids playing house. You think that's what life is? Cotton candy and vacations." I stand up, dust off my hands. "No, Sarah. Life's work, compromise, showing up. You stopped doing that a long time ago." Her eyes flash, but she doesn't argue. She just turns and walks back to the house, leaving me with the album in a garage full of ghosts. I don't open it again. I put it back in the box, bury it under a sleeping bag. Some things are better left in the past. It all comes to a head on a Tuesday night. I'm in the living room, watching a Reds game, trying to unwind after a long day at a job site where everything went wrong. Delayed shipments, a busted crane, the works. Sarah's been cold all week, barely talking, answering in grunts, leaving dishes in the sink like it's my job to play maid. I've been keeping my distance, sticking to my routine, not giving her the reaction she's fishing for. But tonight, she's got a new move, and it's the one that breaks me. She comes downstairs, dressed up, black dress, heels, makeup done like she's going somewhere that matters. "I'm going out," she says, not looking at me, her purse already slung over her shoulder. "Out where?" I ask, keeping my voice neutral, my eyes on the TV. "With friends. Don't wait up." She grabs her keys from the counter, heads for the door. I mute the TV, turn to face her. "Which friends?" She stops, turns, her eyes narrow, her voice dripping with irritation. "Why do you care? You're not my keeper, Jack." I stand up, walk to the kitchen counter where her phone's charging. "Just curious. You've been pretty clear you don't want me around, so I'm wondering who's worth your time." She snatches her phone, her movements sharp. "You're pathetic, Jack. Always checking up on me. Maybe I just need a break from you." That's when it happens. I step closer, not angry, not yelling, just desperate for something real, something to remind us we're not strangers living under the same roof. I reach for her arm, not to grab her, just to connect, to pull her back from wherever she's gone. She pushes me away, hard, her face twisted with disgust. "I'd rather sleep than pretend I'm interested in you." The words hit like a slap, but I don't flinch. I step back, look her dead in the eye, my voice calm but final. "I'd rather get divorced than keep propping up this marriage." She freezes, her mouth half open, her eyes wide like she didn't expect me to fight back. For once, she's got nothing to say, no quick comeback, no smirk. I don't wait for her to recover. I grab my jacket, my keys, and walk out. I drive to a hotel, check in for the night. The clerk's bored voice the only sound as I hand over my card. By morning, I've got a lawyer's number from Dave, who went through his own divorce last year. I'm not yelling, not begging. I'm done. The next week, I'm back in the house, but I'm not staying. I've rented a small apartment across town, close to work, nothing fancy, but enough for me. I'm packing my stuff, clothes, tools, a few books, while Sarah's at work. I don't leave a mess. Don't take anything that's hers. Just what's mine, what I've earned. I've already changed the locks on my truck, moved my accounts, canceled our joint credit card. She doesn't get to control the narrative anymore. When she gets home, I'm loading the last box into my truck. She stands in the driveway, arms crossed, her face a mix of anger and something else, maybe fear, maybe regret. I can't tell anymore. "You're really doing this?" she says, her voice quieter than I expected. I close the tailgate, wipe my hands on my jeans. "Yeah, I'm done being your punching bag." "You're overreacting," she says, stepping closer, her tone softer now, like she's trying to pull me back into her orbit. "We can talk about this, Jack. We can figure it out." I shake my head. Step closer so she hears every word. "You don't get to talk your way out of this one. You wanted control? You got it. Enjoy the house, the bills, the whole deal. I'm out." She opens her mouth, but I'm already in the truck, the engine rumbling to life. I don't look back as I drive away. Mike's in his yard, watering his lawn, his eyes catching mine. He gives me a nod, like he gets it, like he's seen this coming for a while. I nod back, the road stretching out ahead. It's been 6 months. The divorce is final, papers signed, no drama. I got the truck, my tools, and half the savings. Sarah kept the house, but I hear from Lisa that she's struggling with the mortgage, maybe thinking about selling. Not my problem. I'm in my apartment, a 1-bedroom with a view of a parking lot, but it's mine. The walls are bare, but I've got a new TV, a couch that doesn't smell like Sarah's perfume, and a coffee maker that brews exactly what I need. I've got a new project at work, a promotion on the horizon, and Greg's been dropping hints about a bigger role if I keep delivering. Dave and I grab beers on Fridays, shoot the breeze about baseball, bad decisions, and the women he's trying to meet on dating apps. Lisa checks in sometimes, says Sarah's been quiet, maybe regretting how it went down. I don't care. I'm not here to gloat, but I'm not here to hurt either. I'm free. No more walking on eggshells, no more dodging her barbs. I sleep better now, wake up to my own rhythm. The coffee's hot, the TV's mine, and nobody's rewriting my life to make me the villain. I said my piece, walked away, and never looked back. That's enough. If you made it this far, that means the story spoke to you. Please consider subscribing, leaving a like, and sharing your thoughts in the comments. It really means a lot to me, more than you know. These stories take time to write,